The new house welcomed me with a warm, creaky embrace. It was old, but charming, every corner filled with character. High ceilings, wooden floors that whispered underfoot, and ivy climbing the brickwork outside. The realtor told me it had been the heart of the town once. My eyes wandered as I unpacked, landing on the door with the large, rusted padlock. Storage, the realtor had said too quickly. That night, the house seemed different, settling into its nighttime skin. I lay awake, listening. The usual sounds of a house setting hadn't bothered me before, but here they seemed amplified, unnatural. The wind howled outside, and the trees scraped the sides like bony fingers. My ears pricked up as I heard it, a gentle rattle. The padlock on the door, shivering like from a chill. Or was it an unseen hand? I decided it was just the draft and turned over, my skin prickling as it felt otherwise. Days passed with the routine sway of life. Yet, the locked door loomed in my mind. I tried to ignore it, telling myself I simply needed more time to settle. But at night, the rattling persisted. I heard it first around midnight, the sound sharp against the silence. The padlock jangled at irregular intervals, each clink cutting the air like a knife. I tiptoed closer one night, barefoot on cold wood. My hand reached out to touch the padlock, but I stopped, feeling an icy chill seep through. My imagination went wild, conjuring scenarios of what lay beyond the door. Was it just old clutter or something darker? I turned away, unsettled, my heart echoing louder than the rattles. Curiosity gnawed at me like a persistent itch. Each night, I approached the door, listening intently. The noise was different each time, sometimes a low moan, other times a frantic shake. It seemed the house was trying to tell me something, a secret buried deep within its walls. During the day, I tried to push it out of my mind, but by nightfall, it became my obsession. Sleep deprived and edgy, I explored every other part of the house, hoping to find something that would explain the locked room. Old photographs and moth-eaten furniture, but no answers. Only more questions. I decided to confront the realtor. I needed answers. As I sat in her office, her eyes darted away when I mentioned the door. "It's just storage," she insisted, but her pallor spoke otherwise. She mumbled something about previous owners and forgotten keys. I left, realizing I was on my own. Back home, I stood before the locked door again, resolute this time. The padlock, for all its rust, resisted any attempt at force. I wished I had something stronger, a way to uncover what it guarded so fiercely. My own reflection in the door's shiny brass handle startled me. I looked like a stranger, wild-eyed and desperate. I decided to break the lock. It was intrusive, but I had to know. My hands shook as I wielded the bolt cutters, the metal cold and heavy. The first cut was the hardest, the shriek of metal tearing through the silence. My heart pounded as the lock fell away, clattering onto the wooden floor. I hesitated, door slightly ajar, revealing a darkness that seemed alive. The air seemed to shift, carrying a musty odor mixed with something sweetly rotten. I switched on the light and gasped. Decades of dust greeted me, filled with forgotten relics and things better left unseen. Inside, the room was a curious time capsule, peeling wallpaper, revealing layers of the past. Tattered furniture stood like sentinels, guarding stories left unsaid. Against one wall, an ancient rocking chair swayed slightly, though I felt no breeze. The sensation of being watched prickled my skin. I explored cautiously, each step disrupting the settled dust, my breath shallow. On a dusty shelf, I found a child's drawing, two figures holding hands under a sun. One was crossed out with furious strokes. A cold sensation spread through me, the whispers of history echoing louder than the present. The more I examined, the heavier the atmosphere became. A wardrobe in the corner creaked ominously whenever I approached. I flinched at every sound, from the creak of wood to the distant murmurs outside the room. Focusing on anything to distract me, I stumbled upon an old photograph album, half buried under blankets. It showcased a family, joyful faces frozen in time. The child from the drawings appeared, eyes wide with innocence. But as I flipped through, they seemed to age, their expression growing somewhere between sad and scared. I felt my breath catch, a hidden anguish in those pages. The room seemed colder now. I gathered the album and drawing, retreating to the musty safety of my bedroom. That night, I dreamt vividly, a child crying in the corner of the locked room, calling for help. I woke shivering, sweat mixing with morning light, casting long shadows across the room. The house felt different that morning, weightier, like it had acknowledged my intrusion. I sat dazed, the morning noises muted and distant. The album sat on the nightstand, now seeming like a silent accuser, demanding attention I was terrified to give. A sense of dread filled me each time I glanced at the album. I avoided it during the day, but by night it was a lodestone pulling my thoughts back to the locked room. Sleep came with difficulty, each creak of the old house echoing my fears. The dream returned, more vivid this time. The child whispered secrets I couldn't understand. I woke with a jolt, covered in cold sweat. I knew I had to confront it, make sense of what the past was trying to tell me. The room, the child, the secrets. Somehow it was all connected, tangled like vines. Determined, I returned, braver in the daylight. Armed with a flashlight, I explored deeper into the dim corners. Dust floated like specters in the beam. A loose floorboard near the rocking chair caught my foot. I pried it up with trembling hands to reveal a hidden compartment. Inside was a small, rusted tin box. My heartbeat quickened as I opened it, revealing a bundle of letters tied with a faded ribbon. The words inside were confessions of fear, longing, and love to a child I never knew. The last letter was stained with teardrops, an unfinished goodbye. Reading the letters, the full weight of the story began to unfurl. A tragic tale of a lost child, love twisted by time and memory. I felt the room close in around me, the emotions of the past seeping into my bones, the rattling of the padlock, the cries in my dreams. It was all the echoes of a history left unresolved. I couldn't breathe, the room both a prison and a shrine. I fled upstairs, clutching the letters, desperate for fresh air and clarity. A sense of responsibility weighed on my shoulders. I had awakened something that needed rest. The dreams wouldn't cease until the truth was acknowledged. That night, I burned the letters in the fireplace, watching as ashes spiraled upward like souls freed. A bittersweet peace settled over the house, the air lighter, the oppressive shadows retreating. The locked room was silent now, no longer holding the secrets of those lost years. The mysterious force seemed to whisper thanks as it finally departed, leaving behind an unexpected sense of calm. With the room silent and the past laid to rest, the house felt different, not as a relic of sorrow, but a home ready for new stories. I felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted. I explored with fresh eyes those once chilling creaks, now comforting. Life resumed its own pace, but with a new appreciation for the whispers of history. Peace had found a new home, and I felt it anchor me. The door, once locked, lay open, a threshold to new beginnings.